Jadi dapat dah. Azim, start Azim.
Going live in 3, 2, 1, Q.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to IIUM TV.
Anda sedang menyaksikan
Rancangan Tips That Show, Political Insights to English in Campus, Girls Out Loud, Nightingale.
dan Althea.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome to IIUM TV, and this is a special episode on Know Your Candidates in conjunction with the IIUM Student Union election that will take place this Saturday the 10th of April. So before I go on any further, my name is Ilya Marsha and I will be your moderator for the next 2 hours. So on behalf of IIUM TV, we would like to express our appreciation to all of the candidates for approaching us to be the media partner for these sessions. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe our YouTube channel and keep updated with us by following IIUM TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and of course Spotify. So don't also cast in your votes for the remaining seats that are still being contested this Saturday, 10th of April, and stay updated with the IIUMSU Election Commission. So in the spirit of democracy, I believe that everyone is curious on the candidates for the IIUM Student Union election and also their manifestos and also their stands while they will be in office. So feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment box to any of the candidates, and we will address them if time permits. So without further ado, let us start with our first session of this dialogue with our representatives in the Kuliyyah seats. So each candidate will be given 20 minutes to present themselves before we proceed with the Q&A session. So this evening, we have two candidates, two very esteemed candidates. First, let us welcome Brother Zaim Mustaqim, a candidate from KAED. So how are you, Brother Zaim?
Hi, Masha, our moderator for today. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Assalamualaikum, Masha. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm flustered, but I'm feeling great. So, thank you, Brother Zaim. So next we have Brother Abdurrahman Bakir from Kuliyyah of Engineering. So how are you today, Brother Rahman?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Thank you, Marsha.
Alhamdulillah. Great to hear that from the both of you. So without further ado, let us start with our sessions. So we will be starting with Brother Zaim first. So Brother Zaim, the whole 20 minutes is yours. Please.
Thank you very much, Masha. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to everyone, our audience of IIUM TV. Hi, I am Muhammad Zaim Mustaqim. I'm running for the Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design seat in IIUM Student Union Election 2021, which is the first time in history, the first IIUM Student Union election. So, why I am here? Why I'm willingly to contest in this Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design seat? All right. So, I think before we go further, it's important for me for the audience to get to know me. They need to know who is Muhammad Zaim Mustaqim, who is their future representative from Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design. Okay, so I'm Muhammad Zaim Mustaqim. I usually people will usually call me as Zaim. Okay, so I am a second-year student from Kuliyyah of Architecture and Department of Urban and Regional Planning. So I'm a second-year student in second semester. So what actually is urban and regional planning? So I think I need to tell you the stories behind urban and regional planning. Maybe if I can share with everyone, our audience, even at the YouTube or even Facebook, about what is actually urban and regional planning. It is very, very nice and interesting course. I really encourage our little brothers, maybe someone that just finished their high schools. It's very encouraged I very encourage you guys to join this course, because from this urban and regional planning also I can relate my manifesto, the way I came with the I'm going through this process, this election process is very closely related to what I am doing right now for my degree. So talking about urban and regional planning, previously during my previous semester we prepared for special area plan Metro Prima Kepong. So what actually this special area plan consists of a proposal, projects that we are very sure can solve the current issues in the Metro Prima Kepong in our study area. So same goes to my what I'm going through right now. I need to come out with the current issues and also the problems in my study area, which is Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, KAED. So from this proposal, we came out with survey. Also, we came out with something that leads to the solution. We can prove that the solution can really solve the issues and also the problems in the study area. The thing is, yes, we presented the proposal to the local authority, Kuala Lumpur City Council, if I'm not mistaken. So the local authority, oh my God, I'm very happy during that day. The local authority took some of the ideas, the proposal, the projects that we proposed to them, which means that the proposal, they agree that the proposal can solve the issues and also the problems based on the data that we have. Same goes to this election, all right? So I am here, I'm running for this seat to solve the problems in Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, which is my study area, right? So the study area of talking about Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, before I came out with my manifesto, I did publish a survey on the facilities, on the conditions of the Kuliyyah, and yes, the manifesto is very leads toward this survey. I can say that my manifesto is based on this survey, which answered by most of the KAED students. So what we get from the surveys, actually the issues such as students are not don't get equal access to their facilities, such as studios. Students are prohibited from entering the studios after office hours. What else? Students are they don't get enough food or drinks choices after office hours. So also the major problem since few years ago is actually KAED students really rely on printing services. This no one can deny, I'm very sure. So students rely on printing services, which really burden their financial. So these are the three major issues, problems that what from the survey came, not from me, not from my team, or even someone else. It came from the students, the students in Kuliyyah of Architecture, my study area. So what are my manifesto? Then after I did the survey, I came up with the manifesto. So what are the manifesto from your candidate from Kuliyyah of Architecture, Zaim Mustaqim? I came with 3 manifestos that can solve these 3 major issues. I really believe. Remember that I can solve roughly 200,000 populations in Kepong. I am very sure that I can solve 100 students of Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design with these 3 manifestos, which are the first one that I promote, which I offer to our students in Kuliyyah of Architecture, is to maximize the usage of facilities in the Kuliyyah by providing equal access to everyone. What do you mean by equal access? Because based on the survey also, we know that some of the students, they have a very packed schedule of their academic. They have classes from early in the morning until the whole day, you know. So they don't have the chance to use the studios, the lab, what else, the computer labs and so on. So because this kind of facilities are only open during office hours. That is the first thing. So can you just imagine if these problems we cannot cater? Of course, the students are not allowed to use the facilities. So what else they can do? They are very burdened by the studio works. They need to do the works in groups. So I think it is very important to solve this issue, right? So the second thing that I am offering for the students of Kuliyyah of Architecture is to solve the issue of printing services that what CAED students really rely on. All right. So the second manifesto is actually to give printing discounts to our students, especially for our Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design students. So as we all know, I think from the survey, I can share with you that almost 100% of the one that answered the survey, they agreed to have a discount for printing services. Yes, printing discount for printing, especially for CAED students. So what are the mechanisms? I know it sounds very, you may think that it sounds very, it's not practicable, but to be honest with you, I did contact a few printing services such as Acik Printing. I did call with the marketing executive, Mariza Ahmad, Mariza Ahmad from Acik Printing, the marketing executive. And yes, they're really looking forward to have a negotiation with me and also to represent the CAED students for us to get the printing discounts. So that is the second thing. And then how are we going to solve the issues of food availability after studio hours, after office hours? How? For your information, maybe some of our friends maybe some of the audience are not from Kuliyyah of Architecture, but I think I need to share this with every one of you. CAED students usually they will stay at the studio. Not stay at the studio, stay at the Kuliyyah to finish their assignments, because most of their assignments are group work. So, well, basically, brothers and sisters, it's hard for them to find what do we call that, the suitable place together. So, because previously they did gather somewhere, and then some of the students are and then compounded by or get warning by the awesome Office of Security, because it's not really nice lah. So that is the reason why I came with the equal access to facilities. And also, how are we going to solve the food availability after office hours just now? Because students always spend their time after office hours, and we know that the cafes of Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design will close after office hours. So, in order to solve this issue, I am here to offer the students of Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, CAED students, a 24 hours place to eat and also drink around our Kuliyyah. So what is actually 24 hours place to eat and drink? 24 hours place to eat and drink is actually a 24 hours food cube where you can get everything that you really want. For example, foods and also drinks. Let's say if you are exhausted or thirsty during finishing your assignments at the Kuliyyah, after studio hours, after office hours, maybe at night, so you can just walk to this 24 hours food cube, and will be located nearly to the specific area of the Kuliyyah, for example, near to the studio. All right. So compared to before this, the students of CAED, they need to walk Yes, they need to walk. Can you just imagine? They need to walk from the from this Kuliyyah, from the KAET to the center, Dr. Dre. That one is the nearest one, located at the center. If you know Dr. Dre, somewhere at the Shah Square, Mosque Square. So that journey from KAET to the Dr. Dre will take roughly 10 minutes. 10 minutes just to go there. So roughly you wasted 20 minutes just to walk from KAET to Dr. Dre and then Dr. Dre to KAET. So this is what my idea, where my idea actually initiated. I came to serve the students. I came to provide the students something that we really can provide. For example, like this 24 hours place to eat and also to drink. 24 hours food queue. All right. So this 20 minutes, you can do something else. You can replace 20. You can, instead of you wasted 20 minutes just to walk from KAET to the Dr. Dre, you can use this 20 minutes to finish your assignment. What? Am I right? So you can just walk to this 24 hours food queue, which will be located nearly to major sport area. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm very excited with my own idea because I am very sure this idea, this offer from Zaim Mustaqim can solve the issues of food availability, or also the issue of high financial costs for printing services, and the last one is to solve the issues of no suitable place for students to finish their work. Because I very look into these three manifestos. Now if you look, talking about the values of this manifesto, right, actually the value of my manifesto, if you look, if you go through it deeply, it's actually the value is there. What I'm trying to provide for the students, the value is to give students a very comfortable environment and very comfortable situation for them to finish their assignments, to finish their group works. Because for me, reputation and also the CGPA, the performance of the students, we rely on these factors, these aspects. For example, food, talking about health, and also facilities. Students are sometimes get stressed. Sometimes they have mental health problem because of these facilities are not open. They need to chase their time to use the facilities. The third one is financial problem, which I think most of us are experiencing in this pandemic era. So I am very sure I am here to solve our problem together. Your problem is my problem. My problem is your problem. I am a KAET student. I understand what KAET students want. We understand each other. I'm here to solve the problems in Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design. So why actually my manifesto is focusing on Kuliyyah of Architecture? Because we need to remember that the students, the seat are for Kuliyyah of Architecture, and the students of KAET will vote for their candidate. So I cannot promise something that I am not sure about. For example, like the position in my IIUM student union, because as far as I concern, as far as I know, this the job scope, the role that I will be placed is depends on the new elected, not elected, the new official lineup of IIUM student union. They will have a shura council first, and then they will meeting. They will conduct a meeting to decide what office are they going to provide. So I cannot promise what office I will enter. So that is depends on the discussion of the general seats of the main board of the new main board of IIUM student union. And then some of them are maybe questioning, my manifesto is actually something that what Kuliyyah-based society can bring about. But actually, for your information, this, like I said just now, these issues are actually not that not new, but this actually is already since few years ago. These problems cannot be solved. I don't know why, but I am very sure with this IIUM Student Union, which is a very independent students representative. So I'm very sure with this IIUM Student Union, I can solve this problem because, for example, like Kuliyyah-based society, we know that Kuliyyah-based society is under the provision of the Kuliyyah, the administration of the Kuliyyah. So IIUM Student Union, it's very independent. We are registered under Registrar of Society (ROS), but we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the university. So I can say that IIM Student Union is very independent. I am very sure that I can bring all of this manifesto, for example, like 24 hours food cube. Yeah, I can. I already consult with IUM Koperasi. Then I know the mechanism. So I'm very sure I'm here to solve our problem. I am your problem solver. You must relate that. You must remember that I have an experience that to produce and come up with special area plan, which we also produce the action plan, timeline, and so on. I know what I need to do with my manifesto. So final few last words from me. You need to remind all of the students that we need to unite. Students need to unite. We need to empower our students. So how are we going to show that our students have the power? Is by voting. Students need to vote. I am very sure our CAET students will vote for the best candidate, which is Zaim Mustaqim. All right. So yes, please go out. Please vote. I know this time the voting will be conducted through online system. But yes, that's not a reason for us to not to vote. But to be honest, I am I think that this online voting system is very good actually because we can vote anytime. You know, compared to physical voting, we need to prepare for ourselves. We need to get ready to go to the voting place. So lastly, remember that Zaim Mustaqim is promoting what he can solve, what he think very practical, very logic, and very something that yes can happen. Last word from me. Remember, Zaim Mustaqim to solve CAET students and also to bring the values of what education, what the students' welfare need in talking about CAET students and also the IIM students as a whole. All right. Remember, Zaim Mustaqim. And also, don't forget to follow my Instagram, zaim.mustaqim, MUSTQM, and follow my Twitter, call me Zaim. All right. So to get any updates, please follow my social media. All right. Don't forget to vote this Saturday, 10 April. Vote for Zaim Mustaqim. Zaim Mustaqim for CAET. Team Zaim. Serve our family first. All right. Thank you very much. I think I pass the floor to Masha.
Thank you, Brother Zaim. A very insightful speech. So a message to our audience. If you have any questions to any of the candidates, please ask away in the comment box. And please also mention the name of the candidate that you wish to pose your question to. So next, let us hear from Brother Rahman. And Brother Rahman, the floor is yours for 20 minutes.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you for all the attendees who are attending this event. And I highly appreciate your time, but it's very important to attend this meeting so you're gonna know your candidate and you're gonna know who you have to vote for and to decide what change you want to make. This is also your responsibility, not only the candidate responsibility. So to introduce myself, my name is Abdurrahman Bagil. I'm from Yemen, specifically from Hadramaut. And let's talk about why or what's my experience, what's my background, why I run for this. I have worked here. I have been here in Malaysia for 3 years, and I have worked with our society, which is the Yemeni society, also with our state society, which is the Hadrami society. And also, I represent the Assalam Club. I was the head of public relation in the previous year. Alhamdulillah, we have done a lot of things, and we have faced the same difficulty as the current time, which is the online and the COVID time. So it's totally different thing. We have to adapt with it. So once we are talking about the e-learning, and we're gonna talk about how to adapt with this situation. How can we stay safe in our campus, especially for those who are staying in the campus? This is what we have dealt with. So we get to learn a lot of things, and we get to have a lot of experience from this situation. Alhamdulillah, we managed to do things in a very professional way, and we got a lot of support from the outsiders and from the university itself. Okay, why did I run for Kuliyyah of Engineering? Okay, honestly, this one is the kind of the same thing that I do in the previous years, which is in our society or with the Arabic society. But for certain problems, for certain issues, as I said yesterday, also in the talk for our speakers corner in the Kuliyyah of Engineering, that for certain problems we need a higher position, a higher authority to help us in solving the problem. So as you know, the student union is the highest body in the student as a representative of the students. So the student union will help us, inshallah, to help all the students in reaching the higher administrative offices. And this is the first thing that in my manifesto to do. And generally, I don't want to talk too much about the election, about the voting, because sometimes a lot of people are talking and just they are talking, and in terms of the action, they are not taking the action. So yeah, you can go and learn how to talk, but then once you're presenting, when you come to the position, you are not doing anything, and you will see things are difficult, but the words are easy to say. Okay, and since I am the international student in the KBS Kuliyyah seats, I'm only the one with international. It's also a huge responsibility on me to carry on this issue, and we would love to help all the international to integrate with the local students. And this is also what Tuan Shahrul said to me yesterday in the morning. He said, Brother Abdurrahman, I guess this is very important to integrate between the international and the local students. And I agree on what he has said, and this is what I have to work on it. So it's not only focusing on the Kuliyyah of Engineering. There is two main responsibility I need to work on it. So integration between the local and international students, it's not an easy task, and it has been for too long. It has been for too long. So how can we solve this? We can bring programs specifically focusing on the cultures and what is the common thing between all these nations, and this is going to help us not only now in terms of our studies and our group assignments and all this stuff. No, it's going to help us in our future. Once the international students, they are going back to their countries and they are having good relationship with their friends here in Malaysia, it will be a good collaboration in the near future, inshallah. And this is in terms of the second thing. The third thing is the working closely with our KBS, our Kuliyyah society, our engineers. So with the other KBS, since I'm going to be in the student union, so I'm gonna have many friends from other, inshallah, from the other KBS, they are representative. So inshallah, that will help us to work closely together to minimize the gap in terms of important thing that the industry need. As you know, guys, the engineering students, they need most of the students, they think that the engineering students only working in the lab and the workshop, and they are doing only the technical stuff. No, they are not doing the technical stuff. only, they are doing also the administrative problems, and they can help to be a good leader too. So with working with the other KPS, that's going to help us to build a strong student who can be qualified in the industry. This is the basic thing of my manifesto, and I hope all the students, they can come and vote for the election, and to put a huge responsibility on all the candidates. Once there is a lot of votes, the person himself, he will see like a lot of people, they are trusting in him, and he has to represent them in a proper way, in the best way, inshallah. This is what I can generally say. And regarding the issues that we are facing, I hope that inshallah all the students, they have to know their rights. Okay, and sometimes the students are facing a lot of issues in our kuliyyah, but they don't know how to reach the offices, or to reach the person in charge. So sometimes they keep silent, and they keep complaining to their friends. Guys, we have to reach the proper representative, or the proper offices. So inshallah, this is going to be very clear in the time of the upcoming student union, where to reach, how to reach, how to voice out. So your problem is going, once you speak up, then we voice out for you, inshallah. So this is generally what I'm going to do. And regarding the skills that the engineering students need, which is mostly the soft skills, because mostly they are having their time in the lab. So sometimes they are not interacting with others. But no, we don't want. We want to prove that this is wrong, and we can build the best engineer, that he can have all the skills to make him qualified for any position and any place. So I'm gonna ask you guys, all of you, if you have any question, any problem, you can just write it in the chat and help us to help you guys. This is what I generally can say, and I can maybe I end my speech right now, and I give you all the time to think, what do you need, so we can help you in your need. Thank you so much for your attendance, and I'm waiting if there is any question to be asked. Thank you so much.
Thank you to both Brother Zaim and Brother Rahman for presenting their cases in the spirit of democracy. Apologies for some technical difficulties. We will now open the floor for the Q&A session. So feel free to ask any of your questions in the comment box. So first question to Brother, we have a question from the audience. What is your aspirations for IIUM Student Union?
All right, thank you very much, I guess this sister Amal Nabila. So, all right, to answer this question, yeah, maybe I forgot to. I'm sorry, maybe I forgot to mention about my aspiration of IIUM Student Union. To be honest with you, if I can share with you first, what are the experiences that I do have of myself. The first one that I can share with you is I am the Vice President of Wawasan Club IIUM. The second one is I am the Public Relation and Internationalization IIUM Pinalang Union, which is a so-called state-based society for Sarawak students in IIUM. Yes, I am the Public Relation and Internationalization. So if I can share with you about Wawasan Club is a club that very emphasize on student empowerment. We are actually grooming the students to move forward, like to represent, to move forward, to bring the ideas, to be creative, to be analytical, to speak up. Yes, we are very free, open. So I joined Wawasan Club since my first year yet. Someone approached me because he do think that I have what I am very passionate with student empowerment. So yes, that is the answer. I am very, how to say, my spirit in student empowerment, in doing charity, in maintaining the welfare of the students. I very uphold these values. So talking about the IIUM Student Union, my aspiration for this very independent, very the highest of students representative level. So my aspiration is to unite the students, because for me, when the students are united, they will have a very strong voice, a very strong power, because yes, this is the fact. Students are the biggest stakeholder in a university, right? The students, the students deserve to be listened. The students need to they deserve to speak up, and they every decision making, the students opinion, the students' opinion, the university need to take into account. So my aspiration is for the students to unite. All right, because my yes, my tagline is each for all and all for each, which means students need to stay united between one another. I'm the IIUM Student Union officers also will provide something that can beneficial not only for one group of students but for all of IIUM students, even from Pagoh campus, Gombak campus, and also Kuantan campus itself. So my aspiration is towards student empowerment, towards the new era, because previously student representative council is, as we all know, is not really independent because they are still under the university. So IIUM Student Union is registered under ROS and very independent, but we signed our president, Brother Amir Nasim, signed for the memorandum of understanding with IIUM, with the university. So that is my aspiration. But to relate my manifesto with IIUM Student Union with my aspiration is actually, like I mentioned just now, my manifesto is very focusing on the values of welfare, values of education. Because why I said welfare? Because, for example, even the simplest thing we can do is to serve our students, to protect their welfare. Is, for example, like providing food, 24 hours food queue, right? So that is talking about the values lah. For example, like facilities, even facilities, students paid the fees, the same fees, even if uh, they paid the same amount of fees, but still they don't get the access for the facilities, which I think this is a what students deserve lah. They paid for the fees, right? So I think that these students deserve to access the facilities lah. All right. And what else about the education? Education is about facilities and also the printing discounts, because sometimes even lecturers also what we said, what can we say, lecturers sometimes they really students and also lecturers, they want something that is very high quality, such as nice printing, binding, tidy. It's all about tidy. So when you want something that is nice and that is tidy, so you need to pay slightly more expensive compared to the simplest one, no lah. So with this printing discount, I think I'm very sure that we can solve this issue of education, such as the facilities just now, printing discount, and then for if I can relate the education with the food availability and also the drinks. Even me myself, I don't feel comfortable if I haven't eat, if I haven't drink for since I can't remember lah, since when was my last meal, last drink. So that is talking about the comfortability of the students in terms of the education and also the welfare and well-being of the students. I am very sure. So if talking about the aspiration and the manifesto, I really hope that the audience can relate my manifesto and my aspiration. And talking about the values just now, I'm very focusing on. I'm not really focusing on any office, but like I mentioned just now, I involved in a lot of. I have experiences in Wawasan Club, which emphasize on student empowerment. What else? I involved with public relation for IIUM Union. So I have a versatile, diverse background, right? So even my manifesto is focusing on education and also welfare. So remember, Zaim Mustaqim is your problem solver, all right? So that is my aspiration. Students need to unite. Students need to stand together with to bring their voice to bring their voice and to bring the power of the students, the largest, the biggest stakeholder in IIUM, in the university. So all of the students, they need to vote this Saturday, 10 April, right? Vote for Zaim, Team Zaim, and Zaim for Kaed. Serve our family first, all right? Thank you very much, Masha.
Thank you, Brother Zaim, for the answer. I hope it actually answers the audience's question. So I have another question to Brother Rahman regarding your speech just now. Someone asked if you can specify the programs part in your speech. So Brother Rahman,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
Regarding the programs, I already have met some student leaders in terms of planning what can I do and what should I should listen from them, because you know, they are more close to the students, so I can work closely with them to know which programs they need. One of my manifesto is about the integration between the local and international students. I will try my best to make an international more international conferences in IIUM. This is going to be an exposure for our students generally, our international and local, to expose to others, to know more people, to more experts, to get more connection from the outsiders. Yes, and this is what I can say right now. And the other thing, that we can work closely with our engineers in terms of the programs and for with the other student leaders, inshallah.
Thank you, Brother Rahman, for the answer. I have another question to Brother Rahman. Can we have some examples of the major issues engineering that you are currently focusing on?
Oh, okay. This is very interesting question, and I will say the simple thing that I am facing right now. Okay, I have joined the biotechnology, biochemical engineering in the time of the COVID, so I didn't have the chance to enter the lab and use the technical stuff. So I don't have any technical experience right now. I already have been here for 1 year and in the major, but I don't have any technical. I cannot use the pipette. Maybe our students, they will know the pipette, what is this. So this is the main idea, that I can, inshallah, in the next year, to at least get the essential skills of the lab and help all these students who didn't have the chance to enter the lab. This is just an example and just a quick one. And for departments, inshallah, by working closely with the engineers, we can know what is the similar issues. I am sure about the other programmers also who are especially from the mechatronics department, who are usually doing robotics, and they have to program and have to do some technical and some testing some robots. So also they are facing the same problem. This is our kuliyyah, and this is our issue. So we have to tackle it in the, inshallah, next year. I will mention also one of the issue that is related to my another manifesto, which is how to help the students in the higher administrative offices. This is very important one. And just 2 weeks ago, I had a friend. Okay, he wasn't my friend, but once I hello him, he's my friend right now. Okay. The idea is he wants to change his kuliyyah from kuliyyah of engineering to kuliyyah of ICT. Okay, and he goes all the process and everything was fine, and I was like surprised why you were not accepted. Then he said, I already finished my foundation and I should be accepted, and I apply in the same time, which is requested by the kuliyyah of ICT. But maybe he got rejected for I don't know what was the reason. And then one of his friends, they advised him to appeal to the kuliyyah, okay, to give a letter of appeal. Then he got rejected again. Then this is really like I don't know what to say. But he came to me at that time and I said, Abdurrahman, please help me in this. And alhamdulillah, we managed to talk with our deputy rector and his office and his team, and things was very smooth with them, alhamdulillah. And we fixed there's some misunderstanding and some miscommunication between the offices and also the student. So I want to focus on one thing here: who advised him to do the appeal and to apply and to appeal to the ICT kuliyyah? One of his friends. So sometimes when we don't know who to take the advice from, this is a big problem. So once we are in the student union and a higher representative student, we can give the right answer to the right issue. You cannot just listen to anyone, and you are wasting your time and wasting your money. Maybe you're gonna be delayed for one semester. This is a big issue. Who's gonna pay for that? Then you're gonna ask for other help and sponsorship. It's gonna take a lot of your time. So we are here as a student union. Inshallah, we're gonna help all the students in solving their problems with all the higher administrative representative. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Rahman. As we are currently running out of time, I have the last question to Brother Zaim. Question for Brother Zaim. Do you think your manifesto can be delivered by the Kuliyyah-based society? So please, Brother Zaim. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I actually was expecting this question because for everyone's information, during my manifesto debate with another opponent, Brother Sauban, another candidate for Kuliyyah of Architecture, some of them are criticize my manifesto because they think that in their opinion this manifesto can be delivered by the Kuliyyah-based society, which is Archimic. To be honest with you, Archimic is a good Kuliyyah-based society, right? So but somehow there are some things that the KBS cannot cater, because students need to know that the Kuliyyah-based society is not the highest level of students representative. In our talking about this IIUM, our university, our beloved university, the highest student representative is this IIUM Student Union, what we are doing right now, the election. So as I mentioned just now, the issues that revolve around Kuliyyah that I presented just now, for example, like the food availability after studio hours. What else? The printing high cost of printing. So these are actually the problems that exist since I don't know, maybe before I was born. I was born in 2000. So maybe since I don't know since when, but the problems is always there, because I did research. The students, well, you know, this is the nature. Students always very rely on printing because we deal with the drawings, the sketches, and so on. So what we can do is we provide the printing discount. So the problems is still exist until now. So talking about can it be delivered by KBS? I do think that the KBS did something with this. They have the plan before, but the thing is the Kuliyyah-based society are binded by the administration of the Kuliyyah. Talking about KAED is the KAED office lah. So IIM Student Union is the highest student representative in the university. So we are not binded by anything because we are so independent. Like I mentioned this just now, we are registered under Register of Society, and we have the memorandum of understanding with IIUM. So by having this highest student representative, I am very sure such problems that exist few years ago that still exist until now, today, not today, and this Saturday we can bring something. We can change these problems, these issues in the Kuliyyah of Architecture. So I'm very sure with this IIM Student Union, the student empowerment that emphasized by the university itself, I'm very sure with the authority that IIUM Student Union the authority of IIUM Student Union will have, I'm very sure that the major issues, the problems in the Kuliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design KAED, the IIUM Student Union can serve. The representative from KAED, Zaim Mustaqim, can solve the issues in the KAED Kuliyyah. Right? So remember, Zaim for KAED, vote for Zaim, Team Zaim. Serve our family first. That's all from me.
Thank you, Brother Zaim. Thank you also to Brother Rahman for the Q&A session. And special thanks to you, our audience, for the questions and for tuning in to our special episode. We wish the candidate the best of luck, and we hope that they will stay fight for the students regardless of where they are. So don't forget to tune in to the next session for the candidates under the general seat after this short intermission. Let us all unite and vote for our student representatives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep updated with us by following IIUM TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, Spotify. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you in 5 minutes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome back to IIUM TV's special episode on Know Your Candidates in conjunction with the IIUM Student Union election that will take place this Saturday, the 10th of April. So, and if you didn't join in the previous session, my name is Ilya Marsha and I will be your moderator for this session. So on behalf of IIUM TV, we would like to express our appreciation to all candidates for approaching us to be the media partner for these sessions. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and keep updated with us by following IIUM TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and of course Spotify. So don't forget to cast in your votes for the remaining seats that are still being contested this Saturday, the 10th of April, and stay updated with the IIUM Student Union Election Commission. So in the spirit of democracy, I believe that everyone is curious on the candidates for the IIUM Student Union election and their manifestos and also their stands while they are or will be in the office. So feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment box to any of the candidates when they are actually delivering the speech, and we will pose the question to the candidate during their respective time frame. So without further ado, let us start with the first session. Let us start with the first candidate in this session. So firstly, we have Brother Hafiz Zainal for the presidential seat. So how are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm great. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, I am all right also. Thank you. So next, we have Sister Ana Sofia for the seat of Deputy President 1. How are you, Sister Ana?
Everything's good. Just have my lunch. Just.
Alhamdulillah. All right. So next, we also have Brother Fajru for the seat of Vice President 1. How are you today, Brother Fajru?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good and hope everyone doing good as well.
Alhamdulillah, good to hear that from all of you. We also have Brother Aidi from the seat of Assistant Treasurer 1. I hope that all is well for you, with you, Brother Aidi. All right. And last but definitely not the least, we also have Brother Muhammad Daris for the seat of Vice President 2. All right. So great to hear that all of you are doing great and fine. So a message to our audience, if you have any questions to any of the candidates, please ask away in the comment box and please also mention the name of the candidates that you wish you to pose your question to. So without further ado, we shall start with our session with our first candidate for this evening, for the presidential seat. We have Brother Hafiz Zainal. Okay, you will proceed. Thank you. The 20 minutes is yours. I apologize.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. I should like to say thank you to our really leadly host, Sister Marsha. Thank you so much for this honor. And it's also an honor to be also sitting virtually with Sister Ana Sofia and Brother Fajru. I'm looking forward to work with you. Let's see after this, inshallah. So, okay, my name is, I'm Hafiz Zainal. You guys can just call me Hafiz. I'm from Kuliyyah application. Yeah, I don't want to emphasize on the Kuliyyah because I'm running for everyone, inshallah. And right now, I'm running for the seat of the president in the election, inshallah. So, no, you know what? There's a lot that I want to talk to you guys. I mean, the audience, my friends out there, seriously. Because when we're talking about the SU, we're talking about the student union, we're talking about our community, right? So there's a lot because some of you might expect this and some of the other lot might expect that. So I hope that I can attend to everyone's concern. But in the meantime, since I'm virtual, but I'm on campus right now. Perhaps you can set a meetup or something with any of our community here. So so inshallah for today's session, I'm just gonna be talking just a teaser about my manifesto because there's a great concern about my manifesto about how am I going to implement them, inshallah. So when I'm building my manifesto, I'm thinking about the way forward. I'm thinking about how we can bring this union to another level, to be protected, to be empowered. So that as a future president, I must be progressive. I know it's kind of strong word, progressive, but I like it, seriously. I have to be progressive. I want to be progressive in this sense. So there comes, I know it's kind of unpopular, But usually when we're looking at every PRK, every election, we will see usually, I'm not generalizing everyone, but usually we will see 3 manifesto. But as a president, I have to, since we're talking about community, we have to like tend to everyone's need, inshallah. I hope so. So there comes 6 manifestos. Every each touch a different segment, yet correlated with one another for the union, of course. So the first one is to have an SU financial development plan. If you can see on my manifesto, there are 6. So I'm going to explain one by one, inshallah. If you don't have the time, you have to follow me on social media and the group WhatsApp, inshallah, and also the Telegram. We have like 2 WhatsApp groups and 1 Telegram groups, and also my social media. So I'm really excited, because not because of me myself being seen to everyone, but I would like to say that I'm seeing a lot of participation, whether you're supporting me or not. I'm seeing that it is good because we are concerned with our union. We're concerned about who's going to take the lead after this, who's going to take the charge about the union. So it's really important just seeing you guys here. But of course, don't forget to vote. That's the most important part of this. So coming back to my manifesto, we know that IIUMSU here is quite new in our university. I mean, it's 2 years. Before this, we have the Protem Committee, in which they're touching about the basis of establishing the SU, sorry. And also the next one is the caretaker. We know that, during this time, we're still in the amidst this COVID-19 pandemic. But anyway, we still have to move forward regardless of what is happening. And we have to merge with the situation, whatever situation that thrown to us. So before we have the SRC, which we know have a great difference in the system. Now we have the SU. It has a greater autonomy. It has a much more bigger power. So the union requires what? Fund to run. Because only by having fund, they can run on greater scale and make impacts to our student welfare and empowerment. So because of this, SU need to raise its own money independently. So I'm offering, no, it's not. We're offering to systematically build a sustainable income raising platform for the SU. So you know there are lots of ways to raise income. Usually people go to crowdfunding, finding angel investors, etc. And also we're in the SU we have this membership system, so there should be membership fee, and there is actually, but we're kind of paused on that because it's still on early stage. So after this, inshallah, we're going to have membership fee, and of course by paying that fee, the student union can give more provision to you guys. Seriously, imagine that one person paying 1 ringgit, for example. Of course, we don't put 1 ringgit code. It depends on the next cabinet, of course. Imagine that one person give 1 ringgit, and if there are 15,000 students in the union, we already have 15,000 ringgit. Yeah, it's a simple logic, but why not, right? So, but I'm focusing also on social entrepreneurship. I myself had throughoutly made plan to actually establish several shops, but there's got to be a timeline, or what's the priority, logistic wise and etc. Because right now I'm not contesting for only the seat for the Gombak campus. I'm contesting for everyone. Also in Pago and Kuantan, everyone is matter in this, because what I'm doing is going to affect everyone, inshallah. So in the time being, for the Gombak campus, but I think it can be developed there. No, it's not that it can't be. It can be. Why not? To establish, I know you guys might think it's kind of cliche, but it's a unique coffee shop. Okay, it's not going to compete with Chamo, because we're going to be having a different kind of coffee, which is cold brew. Yeah. Sister, can I ask our host, have you drank cold brew before? Cold brew coffee?
No, I've never tried it before.
You have to. Do you like coffee? No, I'm not
I
interrogating. Yeah, you have to try cold brew coffee, especially made by not me, of course. So anyway, thank you. If you guys like to know, we already pilot the first round, because I'm here on campus, and you know, when we're stuck on campus, there's a lot of things that we want to do, but there's a lot of limitation. But so me and my friends are experimenting on, we make coffees, cold brews. So that there are lots of ideas as well, but stay tuned, inshallah. Okay, the second one is emergency education and welfare relief. So students are facing mass crisis breakdown in their education, their mental health care. So we strive to produce an immediate welfare initiative to address the emergency issues that affect our students, both local and international, without discriminating everyone. So we know that amongst our community, we have the local. Usually, we put like the what we call it, the level, like the B40, M40, and T20, etc. But we have to also know that also not every international can afford even for education. So there are a lot of people struggling. So we have to address everyone. And when I say everyone, I really mean it. So our main goal is to make sure that everyone can access to education with equitable process. So one of the plan is to build. So when we're talking about education, we're not only talking about the syllabus. We're not only talking about the monetary. We're not only talking about just the subjects. We're also talking about the holistic manner of the education itself. Because I'm from Kuliyyah education, so I don't have to be from Kuliyyah education to say this, but our philosophy of education would emphasize on the holistic matter, the mental, the spiritual, the intellectual, right? So one of the things is that I want to emphasize is regarding our mental aspect. So one of the plan is to build a first ever mental health crisis helpline from the students, totally student led. If you guys want to know, we've already done I would say, I dare say, 40% of the progress. Yeah, it's true, because we are collaborating with professionals like Career and Counseling Service Center, IIUM, Miasa Befrienders, to make sure that the helpline is running well. So the difference, so perhaps you guys are asking, what's the difference between this and the existing helpline out there? Because this one will provide immediate help on campus, because it's going to be running. Inshallah, we'll try our best 24/7 and by the students for the students. Of course, assisted by the professionals. There got to be a lot of SOP, but don't worry, we've gone through that. We also have submit the proposal. Inshallah, we're going to do it. So, so how much minute more I have left, sister?
You have 9 minutes more.
9 minutes more. So, oh my god, I want to talk about a lot of stuff. So, but no, shall I try my best? So, okay, that's the second one. The third one is this is really important. The third one is regarding equity practice. Okay, it's called equity practice in a manner. So people might say, what's equity? What's the difference between why you're not use equal practice? So I don't want to like defining that, but we're just going to go into the practice. So we know that we're living in a diverse community in IIUM. We're living amongst a whole lot of communities here. We not only have the local, we have the international, we have the PG, we have the disabled, and even talking about local, there are lots of local here from different states, and we also have different campuses like Pago and Kuantan, and they're all matter. And so as a president, we have to see, not as a president, as the whole cabinet, we have to see to that. We have to know that there are part of the communities that are underrepresented. Yeah, I know it's a strong word too, but I would say that, I dare say that, because I'm not going to explain further about that. But so one of the plan is we need an office directly acknowledging them. So before this, in the SRC, there have the designated seats for the international and the SRC, and even for Pago. And right now we're looking at we look at our own election. We know that even the Pago, there are not candidates. We can discuss about that contesting for the seat. So it's important that whether they are candidates or not, we have to make sure that they are represented within the union. So I'm proposing to establish one office, and it's called an Office of Diversity and Community. Yeah. So what's the portfolio? Stay tuned, inshallah. So anyway, also there are lots of plans. Some international are also facing language barriers, in which we can, inshallah, try to help from the students, like doing peer tutor, in which we can assist our international friends to learn English and Malay. We can integrate between families. We can ask them to come for Raya to Emily Fitri to our house. Why not, right? Because we are all international Islamic Muslim students. So okay, that's their third one. So inshallah, you guys have to stay tuned because tonight, inshallah, by tonight, I will release a manifesto document in which I established like a year ago. It's kind of exaggeration, but yeah, technically it's been established because the progress has been done like a year ago. So inshallah, we're gonna make
We
sure.
have a
Sorry.
question for you. We have a question for you.
Oh, so
From
fire
the
away.
audience. Yes. So I heard the audience heard that you are leading the first student-led flagship program under IIUM. Would you support this kind of initiative by the students when you are the president yourself? So
For sure, yes. One of my sorry, am I interrupting you? Thank you, Sister Marsha. Okay, I think I proceed with the question because that is really important because it regarding student empowerment. So before this, I kind of like made just a small research on how is it possible for students to lead a flagship project for the IUM. So if you want to know about flagship project, you just Google it and inshallah it will appear. But if you, just for a little bit of literacy, flagship projects are usually initiated by the KCD-IOM, the Kuliyyah, the center, the officers. Most of them are the management. Even if there are students involved, they're not the one leading entirely. So Alhamdulillah, thanks to my brother actually, he's a junior here. In his, I know it's kind of weird, but if you want to know the progress, he did so starting from his SDG class, the UNGS class. So because of that, it caught the attention of the administration, and because of that, there's a lot of process, but we're kind of lobbying and stuff. So after that, it is possible. I can say it is possible. So if one student can do it, why can't you guys? So this is really important to make sure that everyone can access to the same opportunity. And my brother is no like a very loud. He's in social media, but he's not that appearing a lot everywhere. But yeah, I know that there are lots of people out there. They have a great ideas, have great aspiration, great ambition. So we have to make sure that these people reach to us seriously, so that we can empower them. Inshallah, I will see to that. So I'm so sorry if I kind of talk too much about this. So am I answering? Have I answered your question, Brother Alif? That's a good question. So thank you.
all right.
Is there any question? Yes.
For now, we only have one question. I think we can wait a few seconds.
Oh, a few seconds left. Oh my. I hope that. Okay, I'm not addressing EC here, but I hope that there should be a lot of time to explain because we have to be progressive even as presenting our manifesto. Yeah, inshallah. So just stay tuned for tonight, inshallah. Stay tuned for the manifesto document. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Hafiz, for the enlightening speech. So without further ado, we can have our second contestant nominees for tonight. We have Sister Anna for the seat of Deputy President 1. So please, Sister Anna, the floor is yours.
All right, hi everyone. First of all, do let me know if you cannot listen to me. Okay, so if you can, just make a peek. Marsha, can you listen? All right, nice. Thank you so much, Marsha and IIUM TV team for this platform. It's very much I would say a vibrant week, you know, with all of the energy supporting this and supporting that, supporting the values and other values as well. So I hope everyone is in the best of health. Now, let's talk about one phrase that you might have encountered before. It is called "no one left behind." So "no one left behind" is actually the bigger picture. It is actually the value that I'm about to bring if I am being entrusted to be the Deputy President 1. Now, Deputy President 1, what is number 1? It means that it stands for Gombak campus. So if you can see, there is Deputy President 1, 2, 3. So all three of them will be monitoring, be taking care of different campus. Now, all of my manifesto and my idea of letting no one to be left behind will be focusing on Gombak campus for the next upcoming 12 months or 1 year tenureship. Okay, now let's talk about no one left behind, all right? What do you mean by no one left behind? Is it possible for you to ensure that no one are truly not kind of left behind? You know, sometimes we got 26,000 IIUM students, and we got many cases. We got a lot of welfare pressing matters and issues, and with COVID, more is coming in. Okay, this is what can happen. If I am being entrusted by the deputy president one, I will hold the office, the responsibility, the position for 12 months. And this is what I'm going to do for the next 12 months. First is to ensure that you got a first class welfare, a first class, not business class, first class welfare. How so? It means that with the idea of prioritizing your welfare, how am I going to do it? Is I'll give you a picture. For the past 1 year, IIUM have this one, I would say, Power Ranger team. They call it a Sejahtera Council. You might have seen that term anywhere in the guideline, the posters, etc. So the Power Rangers team of IIUM is Sejahtera Council. They decided, they are the one who decide anything or make any decisions in regards to students, staffs, etc. during this COVID time. How the classes will be, how will your fees be, how will your accommodation in Mahala be, how are your welfare going to be taken care of, etc. On the Sejahtera Council, the one who lead the Sejahtera Council is our rector. But what do our rector did? When he had the whole Power Rangers team, what he did is he elected the chief of clinic, IIUM clinic, and he elected the, I would say, the head of media or director of media IIUM to lead the whole team, to lead the whole Power Rangers team. So the same thing is what I'm trying to apply in IIUM Student Union. For the next 1 year, you have the president, you have the deputy president, you have the treasurer, you have the secretary, you will be having, inshallah, welfare exco, education exco, and public relation exco, and many more exco maybe you will have that. But what I wanted to make, to focus in Gombak especially, is to elevate, appoint, or elect the welfare exco, you know, up above, and that person will be the one that will lead the whole IIUM Student Union team for the next 12 months. Okay, in regards to COVID mainly, and second in regards to welfare, because sometimes in IIUM Student Union, how you can see is the president, deputy president, secretary, treasurer, etc. They are the main boards, and offices like education, welfare, or population, they are the bureau. But they, what they can do, what they can help is more than just being a bureau. They need to be elevated up high above. Okay, so understanding that the next 12 months we will be focusing on COVID, of course, because everyone might be totally vaccinated next year. I'm gonna appoint the welfare office like my head as the leader above me, and you're gonna tell me what should be done, what matters the most about students, what can I do, what can I help you. So that is my first manifesto. Second, you might heard of this, oh my God, you might heard of this term, neck-to-neck representation. I asked my friend, what does neck-to-neck means? Neck, I mean like, yeah, your neck-to-neck. Neck-to-neck means equal representation. Neck-to-neck means equal, yeah. So when you mention neck-to-neck representations, it means equal representations. I wanted to ensure that the union are being built not just, I'm going to say this, not just maybe by the same locality, not just by the same sex, I mean genders, not just by the same, I would say, same community. It must be diverse, right? Student union, we are a union, so what needs to be in the union is people from all sides. You're talking about our gentlemen, you're talking about our ladies, you're talking about our local family, our international family, our marginalized community, the differently abled persons, our group of friends, the sports people, the arts people, etc., the uniform bodies family, the maybe I would say the arts family, like K-drama people and also anime people, they are all part of this union. So and they have different matters to be cater upon. So what I'm going to do under the Deputy President 1 seat for the next 12 months, it's actually to set up a committee that consists of a lot of people from different background or representations. We're going to have people from the marginalized community or the differently able community, like differently able community. We're going to have our international representative as well. We're going to have a lot of other people of the community that before this was not in. Why? I want to trigger you something. Why is it very much important for us to have equal representations? Is it like for the sake of equal representation and stuff, or is it for the sake of, you know, having a good picture? No, it goes beyond that. Imagine, all right? Imagine in a company, okay, you in that company, they don't have any example, menstrual cycle medical leave or period, I was saying period medical leave. Maybe the reason why they don't have any period leaves is because all of the board of directors are gentlemen, are men. So maybe that issue aren't that big enough to be brought on the big table. That's it. And if in that company you doesn't have any, I would say, differently able person, okay, as one of the board of directors, they might not, you know, be focused, okay, on the issue of accessibilities of you know, facilities for disabled people. They might not focus on that. Okay. Another example, if in the company, all right, you might have a lot of international community and family, but you don't have one person as a board of directors. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is that maybe there are several pressing matters like visa documentation that had been affecting our community's life so much, but it wasn't being focused on because as simple as we don't have that representations. So what I'm going to do for equal representation is to set up committee under my seat so I can always champion their matters when it comes to decision making with the administration, with IIUM, and with also other people in the country. And last but not least, all right, my final, I love this. I quite of love this. We're gonna bring the union. We're gonna bring the whole union, you know, back to basic. Back. It doesn't mean we're gonna go backward. No, it's just that we're gonna continue to focus on the basic of the union, and I'm gonna rejuvenate it. So there's two things. It means that I'm gonna sustain the good things on the union, and I'm gonna develop a union. Let's talk about sustaining the union first. When it comes to sustaining the unions, what I wanted to continue, or sustain in the union is the values and the code and the conduct that had been done in the union for the past 1 year. You know, if you want to know just fun fact, the age of the student union is, I think, 1 year or 1.5 years. Yeah, it's a newborn, right? So I want to sustain the good things in the union. Example, okay, survey making. Why is it important to focus on the survey making? Because when it comes to bringing students' voices, you cannot just verbally say to the administration, to IIM, hey, okay, I'm going to come to you. The students want this and this and this. No, it doesn't happen that way. As simple as our friends gave us gossips, we don't really trust that. We want to see the written one, the black and white. Same goes to survey making. The function is to collect every student's voices in black and white. We're going to sustain that, right? And the other things that I'm going to sustain in the union is to champion students' voice in any decision-making meeting with the administration. It seems like weird to say this, right? Because I think everyone knows that it's a responsibility, but it is a very hard responsibility to do. Imagine if you're sitting in a meeting, decision-making meeting, whereby there are 20 to 30 plus administration people who are way knowledgeable than you and who you are close, but you are about to be the minority in the meeting to bring students' voices. How are you going to do that? That is the situation where we can evaluate whether a person wanted to champion the student's voice or not. So yeah, things, values and conducts like that is the thing I wanted to sustain. And last but not least, I mentioned there's two, right? Sustain and develop. So when it comes to developing the union, this is the most important one, the last part. When it comes to develop, okay, when it comes to building the union, it cannot be just among the excos, the lineups, the people who know about the student union, people who know the history, who knows the details of the union. No, student union belongs to everyone. And it needs to be more open, to celebrate every student's talent in IUM and bring it into the development of the union. Example, okay, this is where the R&D, etc. come. I'll give you an example. Sometimes we have students with talent who can do videography, photography, etc. Right? So if the union needs, if the union needs some sort of, I would say, service or help in terms of photography, videography, etc., they don't have to outsource new people just to do the job. They can scout for talents among the students and let the students do that. Example, if the union also wanted, let's say, set up a cafe, right, just to generate income. We're telling example, right? Instead of outsourcing or finding external tenders, etc., what we can do is to scout among the students and see who wanted, to do this. And let's do this together. It's a win-win situation. We let you to set up a cafe. We also get to generate our income, and you are closely working with the union. We are closely working with the students. That's how we build the union together. So that is all from my part. When it comes to no one left behind, we have to ensure that no one are left behind. The welfare of the students, the important people, all of the people in our community, the sustenance of good things in the union cannot be left behind, and the development of the union also cannot be left behind. So, Marshall, all to you.
All right, thank you, Sister Anna, for your speech also. I just want to ask the audience, if you have any questions, please do ask away in the comment box. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe IIUM Today in all of our social media platforms, especially YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and also Spotify. I do have one question, Sister Anna. What is your majoring or your course?
Oh, my major or my course? I'm majoring in, hi there, my friend or my teacher, Ashraful. My course is economics, so I'm taking Bachelor in Economics, currently in my third year, second semester. Yeah. Department of Economics and in Kuliyyah of Economics as well.
All right, thank you, Sister Anna, for the answer. We'll have one more question. We already have international students running and one uncontested. Why do you still want to establish a committee under your office for equal representation? So please, Sister Anna.
All right, this thing is very, very much, I really like this question, WB. Thank you so much. Okay, there's two answers for that question. The first one, our international community is okay, I would say like this. In student union, you have main boards and you have bureaus, right? So main boards consists of president, deputy president, secretary, treasurer, etc. And in the bureau, there are a lot of office. You might have office of welfare, office of education, office of international. Okay, I believe the voices, this is very important, the voices of international community goes beyond than just this bureau. They need to be elevated higher, to the main boards levels, all right? And if they are in the main board as well, that would be, I would say, better. But then, to answer your questions, we already have international students, one uncontested, which is, I believe, it is Rahman, right, from Kuliyyah of Engineering. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to have international family in the union, because we're going to do something crazy for the next 12 months, inshallah, in the union building. And the importance of this committee is actually to bring the voices of international students higher. Okay, example. because we don't know in the union, those who want in Kuliyyah, what bureau or office that they will go into, right? There might be welfare bureau, there might be international bureau, there might be say public relation bureau, there might be education bureau, right? But their voices cannot just be on the level of bureau. It needs to elevate higher. Example, if Rahman are in the international office, I'm going to help him in the international office, and I'm going to bring the voices of the international representative in the committee under my seat also, because we need as much platform, to hear their voices. To hear the international community voices, it cannot be just from one office. It needs to be up the main board as well. It needs to be from many sides there as they can. So their matters could be elevated higher, could be focused more, could be given more attention, and could be taken care of. And I look forward so much to work with Rahman. Oh my God, yes.
Thank you, Sister Anna. I do have one more follow-up questions with regards to that. A sister asked, will there be a representative from the different abled students?
May I know the name of the sister?
It is Nurul Nabila.
All right, Nurul Nabila, I appreciate your question so much. Okay, I hope we could have a teacher, etc. So the question is, will there be a representative from different area? Yes. Okay, let's look at what happened. This is my deepest wish. My wish is that among the contesting candidates, among the union itself, or the union lineup, I would say, there is international students, there is differently abled students, there is many more community inside there. And not just UG, maybe PG students as well. All right. So, but as of this year, right, we might not have any person from differently abled community that is contesting, but their matters is very, very important. And that is why I wanted to set up that committee under my office, so their matters are still taken care of, even though none among them are in the student union lineup. So to answer your question, yes, there will be representative from the differently able students to be included in the committee under my seat. So it is not just a yes, it is a must. And it will not just be one person. That is the most important. We need like more, 2 or 3 persons from each community to be in the committee under my seat. If it's just one person, it might create an environment where they might feel a bit scared or a bit taken aback. So we want them to feel comfortable in expressing their concern.
Thank you, Sister Anna, for the answer, and I hope it answers our audience's questions. So thank you, Sister Anna, for the insightful 20 minutes. So next, we will have our next nominee for this session. Let us hear from Brother Fajru, and Brother Fajru, the 20 minutes is yours. Thank you.
Am I audible? Okay, thank you, Sister Masha. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone, and hope you are doing well in these rainy days. Okay, my name is Fajru. You can call me Fajru, F-A-J-R-U. I'm third year communication students. This is my third year being in Malaysia, and I'm being here as a candidate for Vice Presidency seat, Vice President 1. And all right, guys, before I'm going to tell about my manifesto and those stuff, I would like to tell you about my own story. I came here in Malaysia in 2018. Honestly, I'm always perceiving Malaysia as my home as well, because I was born here in Kuala Lumpur, but then I get back to Indonesia because my parents used to be student in Malaysia as well at that time, but I'm Indonesian, so as international students, it's always been an honor to be on the same stage with our great candidates and with you guys in these occasions. When I came to the UIA, for me, it's such a great place. You have here more like, it was stated you have more than 125 students, I mean 125 countries registered as a student in this university. And you know, when we were a child, we are perceiving like when we meet another person from another state, I mean from when you are going abroad, when you meet another what we call it, another person from a different countries, you always perceive, oh wow, mashallah, and then so on and so on. But when I came here, I met all my friends from Malaysia. I met a lot of friends from Malaysians all around the world, and this is such an honor for me. All right, going to about my manifesto, about what exactly what I intend to bring to the student union. Firstly, I'm sorry, Sister Masha, if there is trouble in the connection because of the drainage things. Okay. Firstly, I would like to bring about my first manifesto is that I would like to ease the access for the students about universities, policies, and regulations, and obviously about the procedures. Okay, I would like, have you ever wondering about, we live in this post-truth era. I guess all of you know about what this kind of post-truth. Just give you one examples. When in the beginning of the COVID-19, there always be once or two broadcast messages that saying that we have one suspected in this place. We have that, what we call it, we found there is a video one about suspected of COVID, and then all the universities saying that we have positive students. That's what is post-truth era. That's why we need a good clarification. We need a good chain of informations, and this is what I would like to bring into the student union. And it's not stop at that point. Talking about the information, information has a broadened meaning. Information could be a policies brief. Information could be procedures. Information could be policies. And this one, I believe that this is a basic needs, a basic rights for students to know what's going on, to know what I want to make. I want to go to the finance. What procedures should I go through, and to make all of this stuff easier and standardized. That's my key point in my first manifesto, is standard, to be standardized. Okay, how should I do that? My action plan is to make one platform, one advanced platform, such as you know, we can utilize the existing technologies. Let's say I would like to utilize this Telegram bot. You know, Telegram. If you have ever tried it, when you click on this channel, it's not only giving you one information, but it's two-way information. You can try to look for every information in this channel. It's not channel. I would like to say it's a bot. You know, when you click, you try to go. You would like to. You have an issue with your finance. You are going to apply for a scholarship. What should I do? One by one. Why it should be standardized with this action plan? I believe all of you guys have the same problem with me. Sometimes you go to the finance, like for the past 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, they change to the virtual counter, and they change it to the offline meeting. I mean, to the offline offline counter. The office was open, but sometimes they should change it again, and sometimes, you know, in one office they could have like 10 numbers of staff. You should if you want to change, if you want to let's say if you have trouble in this issue, you should call this brother, this sister. And it's like, it's not only confusing us, but honestly it's such a you know, it's a pain. Yeah, if you are if you should dealing with this bureaucracy stuff, then I believe that it went back to the first step, which is information. We need that information. We need the standardized procedures. And as a student, we have right to do so. Again, my action plan is that to have not only a meeting with the office. I know that student union has a meeting with the office, but I would like to make it a regular basis with all the office that involved with the issues related to the students. Let's say once a week, once 2 week. It's not like a formal meeting, but the important is, okay, finance, okay, visa unit, do you have any changes in this? You have any change procedures in applying visa, in applying this scholarship? Who should I call? And all this information, we will bring it to the student union. And I would like to make student union not only a place to speak up, but as a data center and information center. As we know, student union has already become what we call a data center, because they did a survey, they did everything, because they have to raise this survey into the higher authorities. But it's not enough. It's not, it couldn't be stopped at that step. We could make it more than that. Furthermore, it will become a information center, not only data center. So every students, they have an issue with finance, they have an issue with Ahmad. Let's say I want to change my name. Sometimes it happens among some students that they have trouble with their names. They could change it. All right, where should I go? Then I just go to the student union to get this kind of information. And it's not supposed to be you have a live agent there. You can utilize the existing technologies such as Telegram bot of WhatsApp or etc. And then the next one is to revitalize student union as the primary platform, as the primary advocate of both international and local students. We know that sometimes we have an issue that related only to the locals and some issues related to the only internationals. I will give you an example. In the matters related to the LIDV charges, it's only related to the locals actually, because we don't charge with this. And then there are matters related only to the international, such as the tuition fees and etc. What I'm trying to bring to the student union is we would like to make this student union as a real union. So if we have problem, let's say in some international have a problem, they don't just only go to the IO international office, which is important, I believe, but at the same time, we can bring this issue together as a whole union. So it's not polarized. It's not polarized. I always use these terms. Polarized between, okay, you guys Malaysians, you have problem. You use your societies to speak up, and we and maybe some of our students from international have troubles. They just you should go to the international office and bring your stuff there. This could be changed because we have student union. It's not only representative. At the first time I heard about student union, I tried to learn what is exactly ACU and why it differ with the previous SRC. And they say that it's not only representative. We are not only let's say international become in SRC. They're representing international. But in the student union, all for each of us representing each other. Even though I'm international, I could represent for the locals as well, and vice versa. And this is how could we make a student union as the real union for all students, regardless their nationality, regardless their ethnicity, and etc. And advocacy is not stopped in that at that step. It's not enough with that step. We can bring it into the next one. How could student union utilize its advocacy office and public relations to solve, to assist students in solving their matters? I have one example. One of the students getting terminated from the university, drop out from the university just because administrative issues. He forget to, he didn't get call from university, and because he's busy and blah, 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 he got terminated, dropped out. I know we couldn't blame into the university. At the same time, we couldn't blame into the student as well. So it back to the information. This student could be well informed. And the next time, it's our duty as a student to help each other. Then it comes, my second manifesto is to advocate all students. And I will bring, it could bring, I mean, it could be under another office, but I believe as in the office of presidency, it should be, we should pay attention to these matters as well. It's just advocacy, and advocacy couldn't be carried on if the student couldn't reach into right and good and well information. That's my second manifesto. And advocacy, when I used to be in Indonesian Student Society for Malaysia, for the whole Malaysia, and at that time I learned how to deal with bureaucracy stuff, which actually kind of complex, but I believe with a good information and with a good people who can help you, it can be settled. I went to the Education Malaysia Global Services. We tried to discuss about the matters related to international offices, international students, and alhamdulillah, basically, if we could consult to the office, if the university don't really want to reach us, we can reach to the university. We can go to each office to ask them. We can be actively consulting with them. So we are not waiting for them. We are not waiting for the university to give us information, to give us the advocacy for such several matters, but we can go to them rather than we waiting for them. We're waiting for the authorities to like, okay, what's about these matters? How should one student, let's say this A student, have a kind of issue, and the issue has become matters for the university, and should we just wait for the university to call us, or we can directly come to them? That's my second manifesto. And the last one is to catalyze intellectualism movement through academic writing and publications. And this is what I'm perceiving, that we can, even though we are undergraduate students, we can do this. It's not only limited to the postgraduate students. What exactly about intellectual movement? It can be, it could be breakdown into firstly literature, like writings, and publishing of papers and etc. It's not only for the postgraduate or for the PhD student. In last year, I was a program manager, and I in a conference with publication, not only conference, but we have publication as well. At the time, we have at my society, we have MOU with University Technology Malaysia, or UTMGB, and this is international conference, and we have participants from Saudi Arabia and etc. and etc. Then I was thinking, why don't we bring this into our university? And I believe that IIUM will support us as well. At the time, yes, I know, because I was in another society. The one that support me is another campus. But I believe if we bring it into our university, it could be done. This, what we call it in publishing papers. And my next action plan is that we will utilize the existing website, such as IIUM Student Union website, which we have it, and we should appreciate the current student union to publish this website. We could utilize it as a platform for us to speak up. And what I'm going to bring is that we are not only receiving these articles. All right, we have a website. Guys, student, if you have articles, you want to write something, just send to us. Nope. We are going to make it as a movement. So we are not only receiving, but we are searching, we are looking for it. We are encouraging students to give their articles. And honestly, the articles, it's basically, an article has many meanings. It could be a policy brief, it could be popular opinion, it could be, or it could even be your assignment. I was thinking that we are doing our assignment, like especially in this ERTL, we have a bunch of assignment. One assignment could be 9 to 10 pages. Then is it going to be wasted? I was always thinking, like, we are sitting down for 1 week for settling one assignment. Then is it going to be stored only on your flash disk or flash drive or your hard disk? But basically, you can submit it to us and we could publish it. and I could say that we have already started it because I get the editor already from our friends in many what you call in my previously I have tried to lobby to some editor from undergraduate students as well, and they agreed to it, and inshallah we have the audit editor already. You can just submit your whatever your article is with regardless your political choice of what, and we could publish it, and it could be your proud as a student, even you only basically you're just giving your assignment, but you can proud of it. Okay, maybe that's all, inshallah. So for this election, have your right as a student and do your vote because every voice matters. And thank you, Sister Marsha. I give it back to the MC.
Thank you so much, Brother Fajrul. We have one question from the audience. So the audience is an activist. He is trying to promote the culture of intellectualism, and he found it hard to get students to join the cause. So can he know, would you invite the students onto the cause before catalyzing? Thank you.
Okay. Basically, talking about intellectualism, sometimes we feel it like it's something so like kind of philosophizing and etc. It's so hard to get, so rich to get, and it's so what we call it. It's so far for us. But I will give you a quote from Antonio Gramsci, one of the philosopher. He once said that as we should be an intellectual organic. Basically, what is that? We should be a student. Basically, it should be a student that can go, that can be along, get along with the society and community. So what we are doing right now, like we have in the campus, we have a lot of like what you call it programs, the society program in helping people affected with the flood. Basically, we are already applying the function of intellectualism. So what I'm trying to do to the students is not like, okay, guys, you do your vote, and sorry, guys, you should write articles, you should write. No, we are not trying to reach students with that kind of what we call it, kind of matters. But we are trying to do is, guys, basically you are already on it. When you help your community, when you back to your town and you help your family, your community, basically you are already done this function of intellectual. Then what could bring into the next is, I would like to tell my friends it's not enough for being that. We could other than talking about the function of intellectual, you could bring it into the what we call it literacy, and how important it is to discuss and write and make discourses. So what could I say that how could you invite students onto the cause before catalyze? I mean, before starting, I just want to say that, guys, basically you already become intellectual. So then what we have to do is to bring it to the next level. When you help your community with your community affected by the flood, let's say, you can bring it into the writing. You could write about this. You could write how should we help each other, how should we implement our knowledge in the university. And basically this is intellectual for me. Okay, that's all, maybe, Sister Masha, that I could say.
Thank you, Brother Fajrul, for your answer. Everyone, that is Brother Fajrul for the seat of Vice President 1. So next, we will be having our next candidate for this evening. Let us welcome the seat for Assistant Treasurer 1, Brother ID. Please, Brother ID, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Testing. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is ID Zuhaili bin Zuhaimi. I was a candidate for Assistant Treasury 1, but Alhamdulillah, fortunately, when the nomination day being announced by the Election Commission's chairman, my seat are not being contested by anybody, and I'm won uncontested. So right now, I'm not talking as a candidate for the election of IIUMSU, but I'm talking as an assistant treasurer, what we call as elected. Elected. If we use the US presidential word, the term, they use elected assistant treasurer 1 before I'm enter my office. So, in terms of visions and missions to enhance in the IIUM Student Union, we need to know that Student Union is actually an independent body. What is mean by independent? Independence is quite sensitive to say. When we say the independent, we are free from some authority. We're independent. We are not abide to any association, or we abide to any some established regulation. So that's implied to the student union itself, because the student union are not implied to the IIUM regulations, because student union are being registered under registrar of society. So when we as the first society and the highest student body is for the IIUM that register for student in term of the ROS, student union have their own independent and autonomy in term of um, financial administrations. So when we talking about the financial administration autonomy, the main engine to make sure that the smoothness and the good system and mechanism of the treasury is belongs to the office of the treasurer of the IIUM student union. So alhamdulillah, for now we have not only my seat, but also the treasurer and the assistant treasurer too for the Kuantan candidacy also are won uncontested. After we already won, we already won, we have done a first meeting and we conclude all our vision and mission and also manifesto, also what goal, what we want to imply to the student union itself. For your information and for you guys who was watching right now, the treasury, the position of treasury mostly working on the realm of the finance administration. It means by treasury might make sure that their reporting system are good to
Reporting system, account.
to prepare the statement that we need to report to the members of the student union. As the student itself, they need, like the other candidates say, they need to have their own sustainable income. Yes, it's true. Then the biggest challenge of the student union is the treasurer. The treasurer need to imply wherever the candidate who will won, either Hafiz or Darwish, either who's become the deputy presidents, either who wants to become the VP vice presidents, the treasurer must take accountability in terms of their plan, of the financial plan. What is the plan to make the student union have whoever the candidate manifesto to be adapt and to be implied in terms of the cash flow, in terms of the statement of receipt and the payment, in terms of income and expense statement. That's the one the thing that we know, what that need to we know that what assets the treasury need to make in the student union itself. Um, After meeting with all the treasurer, have wished being elected as the in the position of the office of treasurer, we have in line some goal some plan for the financial plan. Under the three column on the strong foundation of IIUM Student Union, we agree to make a restructuring to the financial administration. It's the first. Second, we agree to make a financial planning or financial blueprint for 2001 and 2020. It's only a 12 months, so we need to catch up some of the works really quickly. And the third is the engagement or the public relation goal in terms of finance to the office of the IIUM itself. So it will be bridging to the IIUM and help from the bridging to the engagement with the maybe Kuliyyah center office or institute in IIUM will help a student union in term of sustainability income and in term of helping student welfare and also helping students to have their own entrepreneurship. That's the goal that we are looking and that we are looking forward um, for the next student union for the office of the treasury. So let me introduce or let me explain some the three columns that I have been explained. The first is the restructure of the financial administration. So the first item is the financial procedure and term of reference or office of treasurer. So in terms of smooth activity or smooth plan, we need to have their own reference, their own term in helping the smoothness of administration. So we need have to have a proper document, like maybe the statement of financial report, invoice, advancement form. Like everybody know if you guys have been experienced as a treasurer when you facing with that, the form that I mentioned is actually requirement for the student union to make. But however, this is only one of the example why we need to what is we need to do. But in terms of that, we need to restructure the financial administration itself. Like maybe what is this SOP in terms of having advancement, SOP in terms of having a sponsorship. Before this, if the IIUM we making a sponsorship proposal, we need a 6 month. In terms of international program, we need to have also a 6 month, a 3 month, a 6 month. For the national program, we have a 6 months. So in terms of receiving the sponsorship, what is SOP that we need to line up for the office of the treasury. But take my word and take my word, inshallah. As I experienced before becoming a treasurer to the lot of institution or kuliah and department under UIA, like I'm experiencing becoming treasurer to the I Masjid, which affiliated or office bearer is the masjid itself. I'm also having becoming the treasurer for the Budi, or right now we call as a self center for community service, and I'm also absolutely directly having uh, becoming a treasurer and experiencing towards to the state itself, um, and also office of deputy director student affair, or we call now deputy director student development and community engagement. And also I'm experience to become have becoming the student the treasurer for the kuliah itself. So in terms of the fifth office bearer that I'm being experienced as a treasurer, they have their own standard and their own SOP. So as a treasurer, as I know the technicality of the treasury itself, inshallah I will adapt one of their good SOP which are easy for the student to engage, and I will I will absorb that SOP and become the student union treasury of term of reference lah. So it helps a lot of student which engage, not as student, we engage the activity with student union to upright the easiness and untie the heart of the bureaucracy of the financial administration. So for the second itself is we are trying to ensure the smoothness, the good standard, and imply the timeliness, imply the fairness, or imply the truth and fair in terms of the accounting term, truth and fair reporting. We are trying to initiate the portfolio of audit and reporting itself. So the audit and reporting itself, we manage. Inshallah, we try to have one of the Department of Accounting lecturer to help us, to administrate us, to give their guidance in terms what is a good reporting that need to be about. Because if for your information also, student union will need to be audited by the by the accountant Department of Accounting alumni. So they need to have their own standard of audit, and we need to have the lecturer guidance for helping us what is actually reporting need to be about. That's the first. That's the second is we initiate the portfolio of business development. Business development is very, very crucial in terms of sustainability income and help the student to have their own generating income purposes. So in terms of this portfolio, we will try to have our own engagement or our own what we call as liaison officer to help the bridging from the student union itself to the others office that administrate student businesses. That's for the column of the restructure financial administration. Not to be forget, we try to be planned to make initiate for the tax exemption. For the tax exemption, why that is be important for the student union to need have the tax exemption. So after this, when we want to try to crowdfunding from other institution and from others, maybe personnel, institution, what other firm, maybe private sector, maybe GLC, and what so on, they have their own tax exemption. If we know that we want to have their own funding, to have their own return, they will not give us a free as a go. They need to have their own return. Why we need to have why they need to give us their money to us to be funded by us, like that lah. So jadi the tax exemption will help them in term of exempt from the tax reporting and so on. So in terms of tax exemption, alhamdulillah, our team, even the treasurer itself, have discussed with the LHDN or Inland Revenue Board (IRB) to find the procedure to help the student union under ROS to have their own tax exemption to help increase the revenue in terms of crowdfunding and so on. That's for the column of the restructured financial administration. For the next is a financial planning. After we discuss with the student, with the office of treasurer, which being elected as the treasurer, we have come up and inline some idea. First, we would like to establish IIUMSU branded line, like maybe lot of merchandise that we could propose, and we could announce, like maybe after this, before this, we have a t-shirt. So maybe we want to diversify the income by having like maybe mask, hat, journal, planner, and so on. We hope that it will be the big project and not as like a slight income project. So next is a service line. Like I mentioned before, it's about the tax exemption. So we like to have the crowdfunding service line, which is using our account to help the crowdfunding, and we will render some fee for the for the person or for the institution who what we call who render our fee as using our account lah. So the next is a consultancy in terms of the finance and so on. Vendor in terms of making a student have their own platform. We like to have their like to have a vendor to help a student, like we call the project name is a student market project or pasar students. So the pasar student is very good project that will help students from the IIUM could utilize the Wadi Budi or the IIUM student union building itself to make their own enterprise or make their own business in terms of they want to sell whatever they want, like maybe foods, clothes, and so on. So student union treasurer, office of treasurer will like to have provide the platforms so that student could generate their own income. And the planning, the next planning is one of the a good planning, but someone's maybe quite surprised because the project is called as a wakaf project. We call as the IIUM Student Union Building Wakaf. So inshallah, we try to initiate the student union building wakaf in terms of to initiate or to make the term of transfer, or what we call to transfer the ownership from the IIUM itself to the student union building using the wakaf. Like maybe you guys want to know about the wakaf. The interesting of the wakaf is the ownership is not belong to the student union. After we gain the crowdfunding, if it will be belong to the Allah itself. So the receive of income, student union will be a mutawali, or we call as a caretaker for the student union building. So the student union building is inshallah, if we can grant to the asset that to the price of asset, inshallah the student union building will belong to the people, will belong to Allah and used for the manfaat of the people, because you guys are the mawkuf for the wakaf project. But it's not for the real situations, to transfer the ownership from the IIUM to the student union is not easy. But inshallah, if we try, if we start from now, inshallah, this year and the next year, for the we could see the long-term plan could help the student union receive the building after this lah, as a mutawali. Then the last is my own project which called as a cash wakaf, as the cashless society project. What is a cashless society project? The cashless society project is actually project to initiate all the vendors of IIUM bridging with the RSD to campaign using the e-wallet e-wallet mechanism for payment. Because the status quo is when you guys having a lunch or having a dinner before the COVID, because the COVID there's no lot of people in the UIA, in the IIUM. Before the COVID, we need to having a long queue. Then we maybe doesn't have enough money. When we go to the ATM said machine out of service for temporary, or machine they don't have any money. So that's the item where we'll have the student when they wants to be make to the vendor for the IIUM, they could help they just need to scan the QR code and pay using the payment of the maybe e-wallet, maybe Maybank, maybe the others. So this type of engagement, this type of manifesto are cover for holistic, not for the student union or for the student itself, for the business purposes, for the community of IIUM, and for the all of the student union, because this is the spirit of the unionism that we want to approach to the all. So that's all for our manifesto and goal. Inshallah, pray for us to all the manifesto could be succeed and help you guys. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, Brother ID, for your insights on your manifestos and your stand. So next, we will be having our candidate for the Vice President 2 seat. We have Brother Muhammad Darwis. So Brother Muhammad Darwis, the 20 minutes is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, host Sister Marsha, for inviting me. And thank you also for MTV for accepting my request to be on your platform to promote. No, it's not to promote. Introduce myself first, and next, I would like to present to you my aspiration to this union. Okay, first of all is my name is Muhammad Daris bin Muhammad Aris, currently year 3 student of Kuliyyah of Nursing here in IIUM Kuantan campus. And for the more information about my personal background, my academic background, involvement in societies, clubs, and programs, students, you may visit my profile at iTasweet. There are so much information about myself, my merit and my credibility is there. So I'm to what I want to bring to the union after this. So my manifesto is called like enhance good governance by promoting and practicing good transparency. First of all, I would like to define the term good transparency itself. So the definition is transparency is meant by honesty, two-way openness, trust, communication, and engagement. And from the Cambridge dictionary, they define transparency is like a situation in which business and financial activities are done in open way without any secrets, so that people can trust that they are fair and honest. So when we talk about student union, the word union itself, it means we are the students and the executive members and all other parties in the union are actually one in one same. So we have we in easy way we have any secrets between us because when we talk about union, it's more like we are a big family, right? So we proceed my aspiration to this manifesto. So first of all, why I want to bring the good good transparency, because the first one, the first importance of good transparency is to strengthen organizational culture by having good communication, good collaborations, trust, respects, values, loyalty, and advocacy between the union. Number two, the importance to increase students' engagement by recognizing the students on their efforts, ideas, concerns, and also meet their satisfactions. And the last one, the importance of is to enhance the communication between IIUM administration, IIUM IIUMSU executive members, and ordinary members, and all students, by encouraging the students to raise their problems or issues or concerns instead of hiding them by providing platforms. So there I already present to you the why the good transparency important to be brought in the union. So next one, I would like to tell you about when we talk about good transparency, which indicator when we can call it's a good transparency. So the first one is when all the members of the union has the same goal, same vision, same mission. Because I believe, and I also believe that all candidates believe that all of our manifestos are solely to bring the union forward to empower the union, to empower the university, and to empower the. So everyone should participate, should contribute to the to achieve that goals lah. Even though each manifesto have different niche and different angle, but at the end of the goal, it has only directed it to only to one lah. Empower the students, empower the union. So number 2 is the characteristic of good transparency is when we have a good communication. We have always to prioritize good communication, because when we talk about good communication, we could all talk about good two-way communication when we just not we as the executive member just not delivering info. We are also accepting feedbacks and constructive criticism from other parties, the members of the union, the UIA, and outside parties. And the third one is the characteristic of good transparency is when we didn't do hyper transparency. We should avoid hyper transparency. What is the meaning by hyper transparency? When we actually disclose something when we're not supposed to the to outside lah, and we should acknowledge the limitations when disclosing particulars to the students, to the outsiders, and for them to be balanced body to the executive members, and to ensure that the student the union members have sufficient information to play their role as the member of student union itself effectively, and the management executive members of the student union should not be kept secret or unknown to the public, especially the members of the union lah. It means that our job scopes, our portfolios, and etc. manifestos should be not kept secret between us, between the members, and between the IIUM administration. So this whole manifesto, I would like to propose 3 actions to be executed throughout the tenure, and I promise that this effort not be only practiced in the next tenure, but inshallah it will be practiced for a long time, another 10 years and so on. It might be with a different system. The goal is the same. So number 1 is I would like to suggest to disclose the progress of each of the candidates every 2 months. Every 2 months, the frequency is only suggestion and presented alongside with the monthly program of that particular month. And why I want to disclose the manifesto progress is when everyone could monitor the progress, and when the students could monitor the progress of the manifesto, it will give the pressure to the executive member to do better, to make sure we are achieving the goals. We are achieving the goals, and everyone could monitor the progress and give feedbacks, suggestions to how to improve, how to achieve the goals. Okay, action suggested number 2. I would like to propose IIUMSU disclose the progress in the frequency is disclosing the monthly progress in the first 2 weeks of the following month, and the whole year progress presented in the annual general meeting by the end of the tenure. Also, the reason is the same, because when we publicly present our progress as IIUMSU executive members, also we gain pressure from them as check and balance body to perform better, to make better effort on. And the last action suggested is to provide justification for actions and decisions made, and provide an effective communication platform for any criticisms, feedbacks, suggestions, or concerns for students to raise their voice, to raise their concerns, and will be responded coherently by the executive members. So yeah, I think I don't want to talk before the manifesto debate. So I think I pass back to Marsha as the host to open any questions.
Thank you, Brother Darwish. We have one question from the audience. The audience wants to know if what are the platform or ways that you will use to share information to students. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Siti Shahmin or Amira, for this question. So my suggestion for the platform is always it's not always it's too mainstream to use Google Form, right? I would like to still propose to use Google Form, but how to increase the efficiency, how to increase the reachable of the Google Form to the students and so on. I would like to suggest that when we release posters of some or some guidelines or etc. We every time we disclose something, we should include our code that related that particular info, so that when we scan the QR code, it will direct it to the Google Form that we are to accept suggestion, concerns, or even constructive criticisms. I hope that answers.
Thank you, Brother Darwish. We have one more question from the audience. If you are elected as Vice President too, how to ensure that all the voices from all different campuses are heard? So thank you, Brother Darwish.
All right. Thank you, Sister Nora Shafika Sukri, for the question. So how I want to ensure that all the voices from all campuses, all students of IIUM will be heard. So first one is based on the last action suggested is when I say that I want to provide an effective communication platform, two-way platform to receive any information, any concerns or suggestions, etc. So the step number 2 is I have to create a team. I have to create a task force team is just to cater the suggestions, the responses lah, and channel them to specific office. If there is no specific office could cater the problem, it's meant that the problem is under vice president office or more office to be had. I hope it answers.
Thank you, Brother Darwish. Since we don't have any questions now, I will wait a few seconds if any of our audience has more questions.
All right.
How are you today, Brother Darwish?
Oh, I actually a bit exhausted because I just returned back to Mahallah from because currently I'm as a student of Kuliyyah of Nursing, I'm having a clinical placement, and this week I'm posting in emergency and trauma department. So just now we received some patients with it's like one patient come to the ED department with an emergency hypertensive crisis. The BP was so high, 230 over 150. If you all want to know, the normal range for blood pressure is 20 over 80. So it's very high, particularly high. So you just need to administer some dangerous medication, some drugs, some interventions that need to lower down the blood pressure and so on. And there are the patients that need attention also. So Alhamdulillah, I get to my room time before time. So Alhamdulillah, and thank you IIUM TV for considering my time to make my session for the last one at the evening.
All right, since we don't have more questions from the audience, thank you so much, Brother Darius, for your time despite your very busy schedule. So, thank you to all of our candidates and very special thanks to all of our audience for the questions and for tuning in with our 2-hour special episode. We wish the candidates the best of luck and we hope that they will still fight for the students regardless of wherever they are. Special thanks for the candidates for inviting us as the media partner. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and keep updated with us by following IIUM TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. And as an end note, let us all unite and vote for our student representatives in the upcoming election. My name is Ilya Marsha, signing off. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and have a great week, everyone.